Hello and welcome to the WBAP 820 570 KLIF Weather Podcast for Thursday, November 3rd. I'm Chief Meteorologist Brad Barton from the Cumulus Media Center in Dallas-Fort Worth. Today's video is going to be a little different because at the time this is being posted, we're about 24 hours away from a developing severe weather outbreak that could do some serious damage across North Texas, Northeast Texas, as far south as the Brazos Valley, not only to mention the damage, but serious threats of bodily harm. So we have to take a careful look at this, okay? We're going to start off with a satellite loop, but not from Texas this time. This is from the Rockies, and I want you to see the storm system that we're watching. This particular storm system, see that little hole in the center, not too far from the Four Corners area? That's the center of a massive storm system that's been moving down from the Pacific Northwest for the last day and a half or so. And it's going to drift a little farther south as it tracks east, and it should be near the Texas Panhandle on Friday morning. Once it gets into the warm, moist air from the Gulf, severe weather is going to break out. It may well explode, and accordingly, the Storm Prediction Center has placed North Texas, southeastern Oklahoma, southwestern Arkansas, and western Louisiana under an enhanced risk of severe weather damage Friday afternoon through Saturday morning. Severe weather damage and severe weather threats. This is the area that is under the enhanced risk. Here's a little bit of what the Weather Service is saying about it today, okay? Scattered to numerous storms should develop late Friday morning, early afternoon, and continue through Friday evening. At this time, it looks like storms will initiate just west of the I-35 corridor. Late morning, early afternoon, storms will then increase in coverage and intensity as they spread to the east and northeast. Some of these storms may become severe with large hail, damaging winds, and a few tornadoes, all possible. This was in bold letters. The tornado threat increases along and east of I-35 during the afternoon and evening. The threat is notably higher than our previous recent events. Locally heavy rain may also produce flooding in some areas. So the Weather Service is taking this pretty seriously, and so should we. So here's the risk area again. And now we'll go through the specific risk for each type of severe weather. When you have just a very slight risk, there could be a couple of thunderstorms, lightning, a little flooding threat now and then, but that's just under the basically no label of severe thunderstorm weather outlook, just general thunderstorms. When we get into the green, that's marginal severe weather risk, isolated severe storms possible. Not too much to worry about, but we could see some small hail. Slight risk, something we have to pay a little more attention to because scattered severe storms are possible. And again, the enhanced risk now is 3 on a scale of 5. More persistent storms, more widespread, more intensity, and again, tornadoes. And then, of course, we get into the moderate and the high risk, which we're not in so far, although the Weather Service may decide to upgrade some of these risk areas tomorrow, okay? Okay, so here is the general risk area on a national map. You can see where it is, and now we're going to go through the risk of specific forms of damage and severe weather threat. So this is just the general severe weather risk area for tomorrow, enhanced again over north and northeast Texas. Now, the risk of tornadoes is 1 in 10. Not a very high risk. We're grateful for that. Now, the risk of damaging thunderstorm winds is 30%. That's pretty significant. Damaging thunderstorm winds would be 65 to 85 miles an hour, hurricane strength, and also downburst winds. And this covers a much larger area, too. That's severe thunderstorm winds. We're not as worried about large damaging hail. Still possible, but only about a 15% chance. And that's probably because when thunderstorms occur in cooler weather, we're more likely to see large volumes of small hail, similar to some of the hailstorms we see up in Colorado, where they might get several inches of small hail. You end up shoveling it kind of like you'd shovel snow, okay? Now, for each of these severe weather threats, just a reminder here. You have to take shelter immediately whenever a tornado warning is issued for your area. When you look at large hail, it certainly can damage your vehicle. If you can stay in the garage, that's great. If you can stay in a parking garage, that's fine. But don't stop under an overpass to avoid the hail, please. Strong winds, of course, you got to be very careful about that. Can knock over trees, damage buildings, pull your electric meter off the side of the house, get power lines down. A lot of damage can be done by straight line thunderstorm winds and downburst winds. Heavy rain and flooding. Flooding is one of the leading causes of weather fatalities in the United States, and lightning is pretty significant as well. And these storms will have lots of lightning, and you might want to also prepare for power outages because of that. I wouldn't be at all surprised to see 5, 10, 20,000 people without power across North Texas during the afternoon and evening hours on Friday because of lightning. Now, here's a kind of a timeline of what we expect to happen and when we expect it to happen. Thunderstorms start firing up just west of DFW late morning. This doesn't really show the vector, but I'm pretty sure the storms are going to be traveling in a strong diagonal from southwest to northeast, maybe even north by northeast, at least in the beginning. And that's going to give thunderstorms plenty of time to become severe, probably somewhere near Weatherford. And again, with this northeast vector, a storm in Weatherford will probably move northeast toward Denton. A storm down toward Cleburne, south of Fort Worth, is going to be on a track toward Dallas County. Now, when the trailing cold front finally moves in Friday evening, then the storms will be moving more west to east. But we'll see a strong northeast movement in the morning, and then still, I think, northeast movement in the afternoon when the severe weather event is underway, and then finally the storms will move west to east as they move on into northeast Texas. And Friday night could be very dangerous for people in northeast Texas and western Louisiana. And now is the time to prepare for the onset of severe weather. Your best shelter at home is far away from windows as you can get, an interior hallway, a closet, pantry, or a bathroom. If you live in a mobile home, you should plan to be somewhere else until the threat is over, especially because of these thunderstorm winds. You'll want to have a kind of a go bag with you, a couple of bottles of water in a backpack, battery-powered radio and flashlight with fresh batteries. Check those, please. Fully charged mobile device, car keys, IDs, prescription meds, certainly first aid supplies, blankets and pillows to protect from any flying storm debris. And remember, a weather alert radio and live local radio are the most dependable ways to hear the latest warning, especially if you're out driving during the storm. Remember, you will not get those warnings on satellite radio or on your playlist. Also, if you're caught in the storm out driving, do yourself a favor, just take the next exit and park in a parking lot or a parking garage, but don't park under an overpass because the underpass area can certainly flood and accelerate thunderstorm winds. A lot of weather fatalities have occurred because of that. All right, we're going to go through the surface forecast maps pretty quickly. Noon today, a big mess of stormy weather in the central Rockies. By Thursday night, severe weather will be underway in the Texas Panhandle and Oklahoma Panhandle, okay? By Friday morning, big storms are underway from Childress on up into western Oklahoma with lots of snow in the Rockies and a secondary storm system producing rain in the Pacific Northwest and also snow through Idaho and Montana. Friday night looks to be the most dangerous time for severe weather moving through north and northeast Texas and lots of rain farther north all the way up to the Great Lakes. This is a big, big storm system. By Saturday morning, the rain moves east from the Texas coast on up to the Great Lakes, another storm system deepening near the Idaho-Canadian border. On Sunday morning, rain in the eastern United States, with rain continuing through the Pacific Northwest and some snow moving into Yellowstone again. On Monday, we have a little rebounding rain in Texas, while the Pacific storm system becomes far more complex. Big snows across the west, the great northern areas, and heavy rains southward through California. On Tuesday, the rain and snow areas continue to spread eastward across the Rockies, and there'll be a little rain in the northern Plains states and also in Florida. Wednesday, snow through the northern Rockies, rain in the southeastern United States, and some rain in the Great Lakes. And next Thursday, moderate rains in the eastern states and in the Plains states up to the Great Lakes, and snow across the Dakotas, a new cold front trying to move into Texas to end the week. So, here's the WBAP forecast. Mostly cloudy, breezy, and humid the rest of the day Thursday with a high of 78. Light rain, drizzle possible at any time. South winds 15 to 20 and gusty. Isolated showers also possible overnight with a low of 68. On Friday, rain and thunderstorms likely. Some storms severe, starting maybe around noon, certainly in the mid-afternoon. Looks like a pretty dangerous time. Large hail damaging winds, mostly damaging winds. That's the highest threat. High near 76, low 49. After the storms pass, winds south 20 to 30 and gusty. Clearing, windy, and cooler on Saturday with a high of 69 and a low near 50. But then winds will shift around to the south. Will warm up to 77 on Sunday with a new chance of rain on Monday. So thanks again for joining us for the WBAP KLIF Weather Podcast. Use your time wisely now to prepare for Friday's severe weather event. And we hope to have all of you back here with us next week. Take care. Bye-bye.